and I call the member for Hunter.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. The most iconic Aussie movie of all time, The Castle, or as some people call it, The Casel, depends on where you're from, made one statement that not a single home or landowner could disagree with. It's not a house, it's a home. A man's home is his castle. But, Speaker, the storyline of The Castle is playing out for people in parts of my electorate right now. The New South Wales government are compulsorily acquiring land to build the Singleton Bypass, and has caused a battle for those who own the land. Now, we all know how much the bypass is needed, and even the farmers who have to sacrifice their land agree with the merits of the project. But these farmers should be at least justly and properly compensated instead of being ripped off and stuffed around. This is what one farmer had to say. A vegetable grower in my electorate, who is one of 44 landowners to have their properties taken from them, says, "We've got nowhere to go. In 4 months, we're finished. They'll put us out of a business." Farmers have called this process 2 years of hell, when all these people want is a fair deal so they can move on. Well, Speaker, in the words of Daryl Kerrigan, I'm going to stand with these farmers and tell them to go get stuffed. Something needs to be done, and something needs to be done now. Farming families are being ripped off at the hands of senseless, merciless state government in New South Wales, who are not only out of touch with these farmers, but careless of their needs. For the regions, it says on all of the National Party puffer vests, but they forgot to include the fine print. They've left out the disclaimer, Speaker. Their signs should say, for the regions, just not the farming families in Singleton. For the regions, but we don't want to pay when we take the farmers' livelihoods away from them. In some cases, the New South Wales government aren't even paying farmers half of what their land is worth.
Shame.
One farmer in my electorate had the New South Wales government offer $500,000 for a property that's close to $1.5 million. Tell them they're dreaming. And to make matters worse, to add insult to the pain already suffered by these poor farmers who did nothing to bring this upon themselves, Transport for New South Wales is now demanding rent on occupied farms. And the New South Wales government is standing by and letting it happen. The state government have told these residents to suffer in your jocks. What a pathetic joke of a government. Maybe if the state member who represents the area wasn't a member of the government, they'd have someone who actually cares and will go out of their way and represent them instead of just politely asking his government to be a little bit nicer.
Change him.
But that's why I'm here, Speaker, to stand up for those people when no one else will.
That's right.
And I will not rest until these farmers are being treated decently by the New South Wales government. One farmer's property had been owned by their grandfather and has been in their family for well over 100 years. This isn't just the land for these farmers, Speaker. This is their livelihood. This is their family heritage, and this is their home. The least the New South Wales government could do is pay them what it's worth and allow these farmers to properly rebuild their lives. But instead, the New South Wales government are taking people's money, people's income, people's jobs and people's way of life, and they are not even giving them the proper compensation for it. And do you know what an official from Transport New South Wales said to these residents? In their exact words, they said, "We don't care about your businesses." Speaker, the New South Wales government are tearing apart the lives of these farmers, and they are leaving generations of family farming ruined. They just don't care, because clearly they aren't worth as much as a nice new big road. I'm not arguing against a Singleton Bypass. I'm arguing against common sense and a basic human decency. And maybe, if the New South Wales state government is capable of it, just a little bit of compassion for those whose lives have been uprooted. The road into Singleton is one of the busiest roads in New South Wales every morning. We just need a bypass to start, and we need the farmers to be compensated correctly. Shame on you, New South Wales state government. Shame. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
I thank the member for Hunter. I can see he's an ideas man.